Welcome to part 180 of our Minecraft Bedrock Survival series. Yes. Oh, the authenticator code thing strikes at the worst times. Sorry guys, one moment. Why is this happening to me? Okay, now I have to... One moment, guys, please. Thank you. I clock in now. Good luck, everybody else. Okay, anyway. Looks good to me. Now, honestly, I got a lot of progress into the house in the last few days. Okay. Conversations. Then I'll need the wildfire. Cool, cool. That's cool. Okay. Morning, y'all. Alright, I'm gonna turn the rest of these into oak trapdoors. It won't give me that many, but I have to be careful what I talk about while building this house and while doing any creative project, honestly, because I've realized that, and I knew this, sometimes I forget, depending on what I'm feeling and fixating on, I can sort of unwittingly create an association between that emotion and what I'm building, and I don't want negative stuff to be associated with creative things that I do, unless that's the point of the art. I just noticed as I was walking around here, I started feeling anxious and frustrated because of what I was talking about before. Well, that's not ideal. Yeah, I like this little thing here. Anyways, not ideal. So I have to be careful to remember not to dwell on things too much while I'm working on something intensively, because like tying a knot, you will weave in whatever you're feeling into what you're doing, because it's an area of focus paired with intense emotion. Makes sense. Yeah, honestly, now that I have placed the majority of the oak trapdoors that I'll need for the basement, I can say that it wasn't that painful. It wasn't that bad. It really wasn't. Gotta get inside quick. When I finish enclosing this, it'll actually help a lot with those spawns, because anything that spawns will either be trapped on the inside or the outside. I think this being open right here would be a really nice touch, because it's on the water, you know? Bro's being real spooky. But like, yeah, it's pretty secure over here. No mobs can get on this part because it's a block above water. So I think it would be fine for now if I kept this open. For now. I just like the idea of it being open right here, because we're pretty sheltered. It's just water, and the sides are closed, and we're one block above the water, so nothing can come onto this piece of land here. All right, and what I want to do at some point is have stairs that lead up from inside the basement, so that I don't have to go outside each time. You should not have to go outside your house to access the basement, and vice versa. How creepy would it be if there was the Enderman just standing in the middle of the room? I love coffee. This is such a nice room too. Anyways, I'll finish installing. Do I have stairs? I have some stairs. Yeah, I could do this. Let's see. Well, I could just actually have the stairs to the basement right here. It would work just fine. Typically, in large houses, I don't like stairs traveling over one another, because it's sort of like an apartment building. It sort of cheapens it. But in this case, I'm okay with it. This is the opportune place. I will need some wood. Now, can I actually... Oh dear. Okay, I do have to undo that. That was stupid. I do have to undo that, sadly. Okay, so I'll install a staircase instead of putting in oak trapdoors. That was so stupid. It could have easily been prevented. I just stood there. Because I'm groggy, you know. It's the morning. It's 7:58 a.m. But once again, I'm going back to the previous save because it blew a hole in the landscape. That's what I don't like. If it blows a hole in what I built, that's fine because I could easily reverse the damage. Not so much the landscape. Sometimes it's hard to tell how it was before it exploded. But now what I'm seeing here is that for the stairs, this isn't really an opportune place for them because it's so... You could like bump your head here. I would prefer for the main basement to be here where there's more space. I suppose if I needed to, I could put the stairs right here, actually. That wouldn't be bad. Wouldn't be bad at all. No. Yeah, I think this is fine. It's kind of far away from everything else. I would have preferred a more center point. No, this isn't bad. This isn't right at the main entrance because it's behind this. You're basically accessing it from this room, so it's not bad. I could always put the stairs down here, but I just don't like the idea of using a room for that. This is a no-go. That's just not going to work. I feel like this is the most sensible place to do it. And it creates a nice, proper little hallway into this room, I guess. Let me just do it here. This way I don't keep having to risk that every time. Now, the question is, do I want the stairs to start here or here so it's in line with this? I'll just start here for now. Major pet peeve there. And they go in the wrong direction. Oh, I see. How does this feel, though? I just feel like that's... Well, no, that does not work. Oh, no, I hate that. I feel like I'm hitting my head. Absolutely not. I don't think anything's gonna blow me up. I'm sort of sequestered over here. I think I'll be good as long as I don't move around much. Yeah, nothing's really gonna get me over here, but I want to get inside as soon as I can. Okay. This is the most practical way to do it. The basement down. It's sort of right off the main level, the main room. It's not too far away from the back of the house. It just makes sense here, I think. Actually, you know what I'm realizing? No, it's not going to cut it. We need a proper door and a little hallway that precedes the stairs in a house of this size. We can't just have the basement be open. We would need a door here. It would need to be enclosed and there would need to be a door down. Otherwise, it really cheapens this build. We need a door, a proper hallway and a door. I could have done that right here. Could have just closed this up really easily. But there's just not enough space underneath the house, which is not something I can change to be good either. This works, but in this house, I'm gonna say no. Unless I want to close this up and put a door here. But in order for that to be possible, I would have to move the stairs over and use this area as also just to test how this would feel, I would have to close this area up. So this would be closed. I'm not against it. I'll do it. I'll do it. Mark this. And also, I'd prefer for there to be more than just a block. Sorry, Spider, but I know how you are. I know that you kill on sight out of nowhere. Loser. Anyways, with this solution, it's not like there'll be a room and then stairs like there should be in like a lavish, spacious house. It'll just be stairs going down. Not my fave. Just room and then staircase. I mean door and then stairs. So right now this is the best solution I can find, so I'm just gonna stick with this. Because I just don't want it to be open. That really cheapens it. That, and there should be more security with the mob issues that I've already observed in this build so far. I can tell that even when this place is filled with light, stuff is still going to spawn. So it'd be better to have more security down here. I will say this feature is actually quite nice. It's just that this feels like I'm gonna bump my head, and I hate that so much. I suppose if I needed to, I could turn this into stairs. Yeah, actually that works. That's not bad. It gives us the illusion of a little bit more space there. Okay, so for this, I will use trapdoors. Just like so. This works fine. I'll just do it like this. Whoa, bit of a lag there. I like this addition. I'm glad that creeper exploded, otherwise I wouldn't have really done this. I'm glad that creeper exploded. POV, you're voting for that new dude in New York. Yeah. Can't say I'm wrong. We all know what's we all know what's going on with that. Doesn't take a genius to see what's going on there. Okay. I just need 3 right now. Oh. How does this work? Okay. So, just like this. That's not bad. It's actually more than 1 block. It's a block and a half, so that's not bad. Okay, yeah. Definitely grew on me. This isn't bad at all. It's not obtrusive because I'm using space that already existed underneath the staircase. It's not like it's taking so much away from the foyer. I like the idea of this being a hall. It feels very formal. More of a hall between the entry room and the main room. But it still feels open and grand, like a big, successive, connected foyer looking over it. So it kind of best of both worlds there. This is good. I like the idea of fence here. I wouldn't put fence here. Wouldn't work because they would need something on top to fix to. Don't like that I could fall and hurt myself, but who cares? This is very nice, honestly. It's secure. It doesn't really feel that claustrophobic, honestly. It's nice. It's nicely done for sure. And most importantly, it leads you into an area where there's enough headspace. This should be the main basement. This part is all subject to change because it's so claustrophobic over here. But this part over here is the main basement. I will do this as I did before because I feel like that makes sense over there. Over here will be closed. Do I need any more logs? Whoa, I just got really turned around. Holy shit, that was confusing. Oh. Interesting. Oh, okay. So this should be wood anyway. I was wondering what that loophole was. Yeah. That's nice. I like that. So we have a way down so we don't have to go outside. It's secure. It feels nice and spacious. It doesn't take away from any of the floor space in here. gonna go ahead and turn the rest of these into trapdoors. Oh look, I have this fancy staircase that I just installed, so when it gets too dark, I can just skedaddle inside in a way that doesn't make me as vulnerable. Yeah, we'll say this house is very well designed. Just like from a functional standpoint. It looks pretty, it has a lot of space, but it's also just very well designed. That's why I designed sort of with like suburban McMansion in mind, because quote unquote American McMansions that are unfairly criticized are actually very smart in that they're spacious and ornate, but they function the way a family home should, instead of having, oh, you know, a dining room that's the size of a football field like you would have in Europe. Don't get me wrong, there are proper mansions in America too, with dining rooms that are the size of football fields, but you know what I'm saying. The American McMansion, quote unquote, is sort of characteristic of the States. Has a bad rap. It shouldn't. You basically have a mansion with the function of a family home. That's sort of what this is. It's big, but not so big that it loses proportion and loses meaning. Because even when you try to furnish a room that's the size of a small sports field, it doesn't work. Because it just ends up feeling like a lot in Sears or something with furniture. Because there's no way to fully occupy the room. Without putting a ridiculous amount of stuff in it. This is very, very nice. I really, really love how this turned out down here. I love how this is open. It should be. It's very, very secure over here. I will want to put this flower down, first of all. Flower. Dandelion. I will want to put some torches down here. This is why lanterns would be so nice. I could just hang something from the ceiling. I'll put some torches down here because this is where a lot of the spawning is happening. Here as well. And that's a lot better, honestly. Just those lights right there. Now, I am thinking of closing the basement off here. Just closing it off here. Because I don't like this. I don't want to alter the terrain. I don't do that. If you're going to alter the terrain, you might as well just go in creative. You know what I'm saying? Build a massive concrete block and then carve it Michelangelo style. That's not how it works in survival. So I am thinking of actually just cutting the basement off here. But I still do want to encase the entire house underneath. It's important. You don't want mobs going underneath. Very important when you have slabs. Because the game is weak, stupid, and eventually someone will manage to get infected through a slab just by proximity. It's really stupid, but it happens. It happens a lot. This is a nice half point to divide the basement at. It makes sense because that's where things start to incline. You'll have a perfect space for a door here, like it was made for it. And then I'll be able to decide what I want to do in this other area, depending on how I want to develop it. I'm just backing up the game so it'll get blown up. Hi. Hi, babies. Hi. They're like, I think I would rather you just bring me to the slaughterhouse and kill me. Like, no thanks, just kill me. Meow. I will say I would be screwed without my diamond tools, so even though the villagers won't provide me iron anymore by way of spawning iron golems, the villagers giving me access to diamond, a resource I would never, ever have otherwise, is pretty OP. It's extremely valuable. Makes the game playable. This game would be way too austere and narrow if you could only get the best resources from mining. The difference is you can't control the enchantments as well. That's fair. But to make it so you could only get diamond from mining would be terrible. Full stop, it would be awful. They wanted to appeal to different playing styles, which was smart. It is a role-play game, so there should be more than one way of going about something. Otherwise, it wouldn't be a very good role-play game. Lots of trees grew. I mean, I already have 2 stacks by now. And I'm not even like halfway through. Nearly 3. So good. How they grow right next to one another, and they basically just create a block of a giant rectangular prism of wood. It's so good. I do need to get back inside, and I will use what I just got for... It's a very dark area right there. I'll use what I just got for finishing off the first section of the basement. I think it's important to build it in sections, because I can't commit to a design for the full room yet, which means it would just be hanging there open, as opposed to being at least partially closed and sealed. This way, I can cut it off here and be sure that everything in front of this line downstairs is safe. I have options here. I can go the route of trapdoors or fence. I'll go the route of trapdoors. That's not my favorite. Okay, so... I'll just take this and give me enough of what I need. Okay. I will also need a couple doors. Yep. Oops. I love this being closed so much. The open feeling doesn't work everywhere. Okay. Okay, that's about half. I would kind of prefer it being flush with the block over here. Okay, if I can't decide what I want to do with the trapdoors, as a result of the fact that they can occupy either position. Because it is going to bother me. Because in one case, it'll feel weirdly indented, and in the other, it'll be inconsistent with the interior. I can just put down some fence for now. At least these will be in the middle. You know what I mean? And also, I'll be able to place them easily here without having to worry about the angle that they're being placed at. So it saves me some work over here. In this case, I like the fence better. They are easier to work with. Okay. I'm going to clean up in here at some point so that there aren't random flowers, because I don't always like that look. Very nice opportunity for torches. Wonderful. Isn't this nice? As opposed to having this whole thing open. On the inside, the door should be on the inside. Okay, so I think in this case, I'll go with trapdoors. Yeah, that was the right decision there. Instead of restricting headspace by putting more wood. The wood would have thrown it off because it would have felt double when there's a nice little beam going across, you know what I mean? So that was the right choice there. This needs to come down. Hi. What do you have for me? I like mushrooms. I'm pretty sure that's just like leaves or something. It's not really going to grow into anything from what I understand. Baby zombies can spawn in here possibly. I'm not too worried about it, but that's not right. Yeah. I love this being open. It's also a nice little reference to the harbor over here. It's like we aren't too separated, you know? We're neighbors. It's cute. I'll use what I have. Oh, I will have exactly 15 left for this. I mean, well, not exactly. I thought I was going to be left with exactly 3. No, I will have exactly 6 left. I mean 3 left. Wait, so I was right. No, this is wrong. Whoopsie. A little too excited there. This is right. Yay. I like this basement because it's not just a labyrinth. It's certainly spacious, but it's not just like a labyrinth. Nice and comfortable under here. I'll figure out what I want to do with the rest of the space eventually. This is the door, of course. And there are other things to be done here, like I could add a farm, I could add a tree farm, internal I mean, depending on how I do it. Right now, I like the way this big space feels. I wouldn't just want to like randomly take away a huge chunk of space for an internal farm. I was sort of toying with the idea of doing that here. That's not going to work now that I've put this door here, that's for sure, because it would require me putting steps down and occupying this space with this room. It wouldn't work. I like it open like this. I like it. I could always add an extension to the house somewhere and make a tree farm. It wouldn't be hard to do. What matters is that I have the bedrooms and the practical space accounted for. I could add extensions at any time. Like in this direction, it's very open-ended. I can definitely build on a diagonal in that direction anytime, and it wouldn't be an issue. Check out this lovely basement I have now. Be sure that nothing spawned. Yep, we're all good. I love this being open so much. It's such a breath of fresh air. It's so refreshing just to see the open water. It's just so nice. This will be a door. When I started building here, I knew that at this area, I was going to make a door at the end of the path as an alternate route inside if you wanted to enter from basement. So I will do that now. For villagers, if they ever inhabit this house, I will make sure to secure it somehow so they can't just go out of the house, of course, but it won't be hard to do. Just do that with some fences. It's not hard. If I had iron, I would just put an iron door and button, but can't do that, sadly. Anyways, it's very nice. It's nice to see this come to fruition. That means very shortly, actually, I'll be able to extend this fence and basically do the grand opening of the house. The villagers will be able to go over here. I'll put beds in here at some point. I'll be able to extend a lot of this. And yeah. That is all for now. I'll be back on later, most likely. Have a good day, y'all. See you later.